A civil society organization called the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP, is asking President Muhammadu Buhari to seek an arrest warrant from the International Criminal Court to bring the former Minister of Petroleum Resources, Diezani Maduekwe, before the court on allegations of corruption against her. Well, joining us now to talk about this is a lawyer, Olayinka Daniels, to help us further understand the position of SERAP. Many thanks for joining us once again. So going all the way to the International Criminal Court, sitting in The Hague for a corruption-related case now, even though it involves mind-boggling sums of money now looted from the public funds. Well, that remains an allegation until the contrary is proven. But what are the chances of the federal government, if indeed it toes this line?
Well, I will start by saying I am in support of SERAP. Well, I will definitely go through their route. But then, the question is, ICC, going to ICC, does ICC have jurisdiction over the crime we are talking about? What ground is SERAP looking at? What ground are they asking federal government to use in getting a warrant from ICC to be able to prosecute Diezani? Okay, yes, there's crime. We're talking about corruption. Does it have to do with humanity? Crime against humanity? Maybe they may come under the fact that maybe the money meant for the people or some infrastructures, whatever, that's supposed to increase human life in the country are being diverted to a personal account or personal
And indeed, that is even SERAP's, well, that's part of SERAP's argument now, that the trillions of naira allegedly embezzled under Madam Diezani's watch now, could have been used in alleviating the stress of Nigerians, so to speak, giving them access now to basic amenities now, which they were denied of now as a result of this corruption.
Yeah.
But then now we know how ICC operates. It will only come in where the government, like Nigeria, for example, now is unable or is unwilling now to prosecute.
Yes, very well. Now, don't forget, like I said, the jurisdiction of ICC, does it cover this? Can SERAP work with federal government to convince ICC that this crime is against humanity? Maybe ICC may be able to do that. But then, another question I ask, why are we so much in the East? Yeah, Diezani should come and face trial in Nigeria. Diezani should go and face trial at ICC. Don't forget that this same Diezani is in court, is facing trial in UK. Now, UK is not going to try Diezani on crimes committed in Nigeria. Diezani will be tried on crimes committed in UK.
And when we say committed in the UK, let's broaden that a bit.
There's a money laundering.
Indeed.
There's a money laundering committed in UK right now. And they have taken Diezani to court. In fact, let me put it this way. During Ibori, when Ibori matters were aired in UK, the judge made a statement. The judge stated that UK is only trying Ibori for that Ibori is being sentenced for crime committed in the UK. That he hoped. The judge said that he hoped that when he gets back to Nigeria, the people of Delta will find him to have committed an offense and will try him. That is in Nigeria
the foreign court was mindful of the atrocities, or will be mindful now, in this case now, of the atrocities committed at home now, while the court is trying the suspect now.
Because the question I was about asking is when Ibori was sentenced in UK, and the judge also specifically stated that he hoped that Delta will also try him. Now, since Ibori came to Nigeria, what have we heard about Ibori? He's there, enjoying himself. Nothing has been done. Nigeria has not seen any offense against Ibori. Now, do you want the same thing to happen this time to Diezani? If you are insisting Diezani should come home, he should be repatriated, and we have Diezani has case to answer in UK. She has case to answer in the US. She has case to answer in Italy.
All right. So are you now saying that the Nigerian government would just have to join the queue? So
maybe when they are done with Italy, they will then send out to Nigeria.
But at the moment now, Nigeria is constrained, so to speak, now to bring in Diezani home.
You can bring Diezani home, but I am very, very certain and I'm very sure that UK will not hand Diezani to you if they are not done with Diezani. She has to take, UK must take their own flesh of Diezani. And if they are not done, they will not release Diezani to you. There are processes in all this repatriation and whatnot. But then you must follow due process. So Nigeria will have to wait on the queue to have Diezani back.
In the meantime, yes. Now, Serap is also, suggesting that while Nigeria also does the needful in the criminal prosecution, it can also do some form of embark on legal suits now to ensure that this money is looted and sent abroad, brought back home. Now, can the Nigerian government do that while awaiting for the time when Diezani will be brought home to answer to the crimes?
Very well. That is actually being done. Yes, that is actually being done. And the Nigerian government is trying everything to get the money, being used, the money being received from all these crimes and moving them back to the country. They're working on it. The last time I read something about that, there are processes to be followed. They're not just going to take money. In fact, don't forget that even the money in South Africa that was found somewhere, we don't even have it yet. So there are processes. I just hope that we will be proactive enough as a nation, as a government, to follow suit on this and not just to sit back and, okay, yeah, when it's time, they will give it to us. Right. It is our money. They are willing to give it to us. Indeed. But what are we doing?
And just like you rightly said, the courts have been busy now hearing case after case involving this loot under the former minister's watch. Now, but then now let's look at the time when she will be brought to court here in Nigeria. Once again, the burden of proof will be on the prosecution now, time around now, to do a very good case. Of course, you keep mentioning the Ibori case, how a whopping 170 counts were dismissed against him now. So what are the chances now? Do we have enough? Does it appear that the government has enough evidence against her?
Thank you. On that note, I will say reason why I do not support the people screaming and shouting for a repatriation is because of the loopholes from our end.
Right.
We have said it. The prosecution should do their duty. EFCC, whatever the agency that want to try those people and that think that there's an allegation, you should have facts. Okay. You know what happens in the end? They go to court, no fact. They go to court, no evidence. And what do you see? Court is not a place you go and just seek for redress and think the court will just come from heaven and give you whatever you want. Right. No, you must prove it. You are like, then prove it to us. But you find out that we don't do that. Right. We just sit back, we think one miracle will happen, and we go to court, we come back home. These people, because don't forget, I always say, they have their own, they can afford to pay their own lawyer, they can afford to pay their own police, they can afford to pay the so-called judges. They can even influence people in the legislation not to pass some laws or pass some laws because they have enough they have stolen to do this. Then what are we to do as a nation, as a people?
All right, he was set now. Must prove. Olayinka Daniels, lawyer, thank you very much for your analysis of this issue. Of course, we wish you all the best in your work.
Very well. Thank you.